Hello, guys. Hola. Today, I want to talk about spirituality. I know a lot of people would be like, we don't want to hear it. That's fine. If you're not interested, just scroll on, skip the video. You don't have to watch this. But for those that are really interested in spirituality or feel that they might be going through a spiritual awakening, stay tuned because what happened to me was amazing. It was crazy. So I posted a video a while back about my divorce, about what happened, what caused my divorce. Well, in the process of me finding out what caused my divorce was my husband cheating, I went through a spiritual awakening. Yes, it was amazing. And I'm very grateful. So like I said, I'm very grateful for what happened to my marriage. Because of that, I got to find myself again. I got to find my self-worth, which is very important. You have to find your self-worth to keep going. You need to know your value. You're worth a lot. Yes. So I needed to go through that to find myself again, to find that self-love for myself, because I didn't love myself. If you don't love yourself, how are you going to expect someone to love you? You can't even love anyone else if you can't even love yourself, right? So that's how I see it. Well, in the process of going through all this hell, I cried and I asked God for signs. Like, give me a sign why I'm going through this. So after asking God so many times, why me? Why are you doing this to me? He sent me a sign. I was scrolling through TikTok, watching videos. And I came on this girl singing a song in Spanish called El Alfarero. I'll put it in the link so you kids can check it out. It's really nice. And this song is talking about someone crying to God, asking why they're going through what they're going through. And God responds, you're going through this because there's something better for you. I'm going to break you to the lowest, and I'm going to make you walk through fire. I'm going to make you cry, but I'm going to make you a better person. And I was like, what? At the moment, it didn't make sense. But after I listened to the song 3-4 times, I cried and I broke down and I realized, yes, that's exactly what I'm going through. That's exactly what I'm going through. The moment that I accepted this change that was coming into my life, that's when I realized that something better was coming. I went to therapy to heal. I forgave my ex-husband for what he did. And I started focusing on myself. I started focusing on self-love and my worth. I started doing more things for me, not for anyone else. I did care about my kids, but I was first because I needed to heal. My therapist told me, you need to take care of yourself first before you can take care of anyone else. Because if you're not okay, you can't care for anyone. But if you're great, then you can take care of someone else. So that's why I had to take care of myself. I had to focus on healing and getting better for my kids. Only for my kids. That's all that mattered at the moment. And right now, my kids. So I did all that. Then COVID hit. This whole process started in 2019. Okay? So then COVID hit. And it hit us hard. I have lupus. And I got pneumonia. And I was in the hospital. I thought I was going to die. I really did think I was going to die. I really did. I got pneumonia. My oxygen level dropped really low. Thank God I didn't have to get intubated, but I was on oxygen. And I prayed so many times to God, and I said, you know what? Just take me. I'm going through so much. Like, I don't even want to live anymore. And he said, nope. You have a purpose, honey. You have something better to do here. And all of a sudden, I started seeing spirit. I would close my eyes and they were all over my mind. They were everywhere. And I would open my eyes and I'm like, what's going on? I'm here sick, dying. And I'm channeling spirit. Like they're coming to me. Like I was drawing them in. I don't know. They were literally all over my room. I would see shadows everywhere. And I'm like, why am I seeing this? Like I was spooked because I didn't know. I thought I was dying. Like literally, I thought I was dying and that they were coming for me. I really did. I laugh now, but at the moment I was terrified because I love ghost shows. All my life, since I was little, I was always drawn to paranormal stuff. Like I loved it. But if I were to ever see a ghost, girl, I was gonna die. I would have a heart attack. Yes. So I was terrified. But I don't know, it was crazy. And all they were just asking was, help me. There was this lady that just stand out in my mind. She kept crying and telling me, I don't want to die. Please help me. Pray for me. I don't want to die. And the face that I saw, she looked very familiar. But this lady was so familiar, but I couldn't, I couldn't put a name to her. But she looked very familiar. And she was like in my thoughts, like the whole time that I was at the hospital. I was there for 5 days. And every time I tried to go to sleep, I couldn't. So I would tell the doctor, like, I can't sleep. Give me something because I can't sleep. But I didn't tell him because I was seeing ghosts. Imagine. No, that was not possible. They would never believe me. They were like, this crazy woman. She's delirious. But anyways, so yeah, I would have them give me something to go to sleep because I couldn't fall asleep. It was so weird. It was so crazy. But this experience was like over the top. So then finally I get released from the hospital. And I'm telling my mom about what happened to me. And she's like, Mija, my best friend, just died of COVID. And boom, at that moment I said, oh, that was her. That her name just came straight. Like it was my intuition. I was like, boom, that was her. And I said, you know what, Mom? She was reaching out to me. She wanted me to pray for her, but I didn't know who she was. She said, what do you mean? I'm like, I kept seeing a ghost, like a spirit. It was a female, and she was very scared of dying. And she told me, yeah, it must have been her. She just died. They just unplugged her. She was on life support. COVID took her. And it happened so sudden. She got sick one day, next day, third day. And the third day, she's gone. It happened so fast. Like, I couldn't even believe it. I prayed for her after I found out that was her trying to reach out. And I feel better, but I hope she's resting and she's not in pain anymore. And after that, a lot of stuff started happening. All the ghosts that were in the hospital, I think they followed me to my house. Because in my house was full of spirit everywhere. Even my kids would say, I hear this, I hear that. I'm like, ignore it. It's nothing. It's the house settling. Yeah, right. There's no such thing as house settling. Whoever says that, that's a lie. You're lying. No, there's no such thing. It's spirit. And they're fucking with you. Yes, they fuck with us. Anyways, excuse my language. But anyways, yes, they followed me and it was so they followed me and my house was crazy. My ex-husband doesn't believe in that. So every time I would bring something up about that, he tried to ignore it. The kids would say something, no, that's just your mom brainwashing you. Now, again, we were going through our battles through our marriage because he got caught. So he was angry. And then COVID hit, he couldn't go out no more. So yeah, he was stuck at home with us. Oh well, shit happens, right? But so he's trying to tell the kids, don't believe in that ghosts are not real, this and this and that. But then all of a sudden, he started telling the kids, I see something in my room. He was scared to be alone. Every time we were going to do something without him, he's like, wait for me. I want to go with you guys. Yeah, he wanted to go with us everywhere now. So he realized that it was no joke, that it was real, that it was happening. Somehow he convinced himself that I was doing some type of witchcraft, and that's why that was happening. I turned on a candle. It was a white candle to clear my house because I needed to get these spirit out of here. I was trying to sage my house, and I turned on a white candle to bring some more harmony into the house. And he says, wow, you're doing witchcraft to keep me here, huh? And I said, no. If I would ever do witchcraft, it's to get you the hell out of my house. Yeah. It would be for you to get out, leave out of my life. That's what I would do. Yes. Get him out. That's what I wanted. He looked at me like, okay, I guess, whatever. But yeah, that was my response. I was angry at him. So, after saging and after doing a lot of things to clear out my house, it started getting better. But I noticed that it was me that was attracting that. My house wasn't haunted. It was me. Everywhere I would go, I would attract. And then I was starting to attract people that were going through the same thing as I was. I started reaching out to friends that I had not spoken to in a long time, that when I saw their Facebook page, I knew right away, like, oh shit, she's going through a divorce. And I would reach out, and then I would just say, everything's going to be okay. And they were like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Then they would say. So I would attract people that were going through the same thing as I was. So I would reach out to them, and I would just send them like a very, very short message, like, hey, I wanted to reach out. Everything's going to be okay. And then they were going to they would reach out back to me, and they would say, what do you mean? Like, I'm okay. No, you're not. And they would talk for like hours and hours. And then finally they would tell me, like, I'm going through divorce. My husband cheated. And I said, I knew that. Like, that's why I reached out, because I'm going through the same thing. And I started I just started attracting a lot of people that needed help, like needed healing and needed, I don't know, like a word of advice to kind of help them through what they were going through. Like, give them hope, because of what I was going through. So that's when I realized that I had a different purpose here in this life. The moment that I started noticing that I was attracting a lot of people that needed help, healing, that were going through the same thing that I was going through, I noticed that everything that I would tell them was actually helping them. It was weird. It was so weird. It was so weird to the extent that I couldn't believe it myself, because I was in denial. Like, what's happening? Like, is this real? Is this true? But the more the days went by, the stronger it got. My intuition got stronger. And I realized that I was going through a spiritual awakening. I realized that I felt like I didn't belong. Like, I needed to be somewhere else. Like, I had a different purpose in life. It was it was like a moment of truth, like a moment of finding myself. And so I realized that helping people was what I wanted to do. I attracted people that needed help, and I gave them advice, and in some way that helped them. And to me, that was fulfilling. I would go outside, like I would go to the store, I would do stuff like, run some errands, and I would see people that are asking for a handout, and I would always give them some. And to me, until this day, I still do that. I don't judge anyone. That it's whatever they're going through, it's hard enough already. So you just help and do it with good intentions, with your heart. With your heart. You do everything with your heart, with good intentions. And that's all that matters. If they're lying, if they're using that to their advantage, don't let that bother you. That's their problem. As long as you do something with good intentions and with your heart, that's what matters. You're doing a good deed, and that's it. And so I'm like that. I've always been like that. But it's just the people that I was drawing into my life, it was people that I never really focused on before. So I made a lot of friends in the process that, were going through the same thing. And all the friends that I already had, I lost. Somehow, slowly, they started leaving. I lost family. Not necessarily lost them, but I lost connections with them. Like, I don't talk to a lot of people anymore. I'm very selective on who I talk to, who I hang around with. I do not take shit lightly anymore. I was a pushover. I let people freaking make me feel like shit. Like, that was normal to me because people always bullied me when I was growing up. So to me, that was normal for people to treat me like crap. But when I went through this, no. I put my foot down. I put boundaries. And I said, if you can't respect me, you don't belong in my life. The way you treat me, I'm going to start treating you. So that's how I went. I spoke for myself. Like, I started speaking for me. I started defending myself. Yes, I started defending myself. And I started speaking for me. Like, I had a voice. Like, I started using my voice. Something I never did because I was scared of what people would think. So I started speaking. I started using my voice. And I started saying how I felt and how these people were making me feel. And if they got offended, that had nothing to do with me. That was their problem, not mine. And I realized that in the process of going through this spiritual awakening, I was going to lose so many people. And I did. My close group now is just my kids, my sister, my nieces and nephews, and 3 friends. I have 3 friends out of all the friends that I had. And I cherish these 3 friends because they're really close to me. And they've been there with me through thick and thin. And I love that. These 3 people understand me completely. And they've all been through the same thing that I've been through. So they understand everything. That's the best part. We get each other very well. Now, in the process of all this, my spirituality just got stronger and it evolved and it got better. And I was able to understand it more because I had to go through a lot of healing, a lot of shadow work, and a lot of healing from many years back, like since I was little, okay? Generational curses and shit that I had to break from my family, shit that my mom brought into our life that I needed it to cut like this. And I learned to do that. Once I did that, my life started getting better. Yes, my life started getting better. I was happy now. I wanted to go out and socialize. I wanted to spend more time with my kids because I was depressed for 2.5 years. Literally depressed, didn't want to go nowhere. I actually gained a lot of weight. I was overweight. I hated myself. I just didn't want to, I didn't want people to see me. I didn't want people to see me. I didn't love myself. But I started working on myself. I started losing weight. To this day, I've lost 75 pounds, and I'm very proud of myself because that's hard work. It's not easy. Self-care. Remember that. Self-care. Very important. So I did that. Yeah. I lost weight. I feel more confident about myself. I feel beautiful. And I feel like I can finally go out there and not worry what people are going to say. And yeah, I don't worry about what people have to say about me anymore. Because my mindset is about, that doesn't bother me. Anything that people have to say negative about me doesn't faze me anymore. Because that doesn't bother me. I'll tell you this. When you talk about someone, that doesn't tell me nothing about the person you're talking about. That tells me more about the person you are. So if someone talks about me, it doesn't bother me. If it's true or if it's not, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. That says more about you than me. So I say you watch what you do, because talking bad about other people is not good. And believe me, it's not. Karma's a bitch. Karma will get you. Anyways, yeah, I don't worry about people talking about me anymore. So I live my life. I am having fun. I'm just living life to the fullest. Wake up happy. I go to sleep happy. I met this person that told me, you're always happy. Why? It's weird. And I said, you know what? I'm always happy because of everything that I went through. I refuse to put myself back into that mindset. So I tell myself that for me to avoid myself getting back to where I was at, I need to be happy. Even if I'm going through something really hard, I turn that into something positive. Oh my God, I got to do this, I got to do that. You know what? It's okay. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll turn on my music, I start singing, and I'm happy. You can't let struggles, you can't let life struggles take over your emotions. Because if you do, then you're always going to be worried, depressed, angry, sad. You can't. You can't let obstacles, struggles, and problems and all this take over you. You are the one that controls that. So if you're happy, then you'll have a better like a positive outcome. So I'm not saying that everything is perfect. We all cry, we all mourn, we all have to go through this shit. Like we all deal with shit differently, honestly. But if you see it as a positive, with a positive mindset, then the turnout's always better. It is. I'm serious. I've been through it. I've been there. Trust the process. Believe me, when you think positive, good things happen. Good things happen. I started getting closer with God. Like, I always pray to God, but I was angry too. I was angry at him because of what I was going through. But when I realized that I had to go through this to find my better self, my higher self, I thanked him and I said, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for blaming everything on you. Thank you for making me a better person. I don't think like I did before anymore. Life is beautiful and I love life. I'm enjoying it to the fullest. Yes. I love my life. I love my kids. I love whatever is coming for me that's positive. I pray every day. I meditate every day. I'm into crystals, so I love crystals. I'm always buying crystals. I have bracelets. Here, I'll show you. I have my bracelets. See right here. And I started carrying a moldavite. Moldavite helped me a lot. It literally amplified my transformation of everything that has happened to me. Like a 360 like this. I divorced, boom. I sold my house, boom. I left, boom. Like I started losing people like this, left and right. It was crazy. Yes. Now, I'm not saying to go get it if you're not ready for that. You need to do your shadow work because, yeah, you're not ready for that. But yes, it works. But again, you have to be really careful with that. If you're not ready, you're just not. I didn't just go buy it just because I wanted to buy it. I was drawn to it. Like, I was dreaming about it, and something just kept telling me, go look for it. And then all of a sudden, I just started seeing a lot of Moldavite videos, and I was like, what the heck? So I finally went to a crystal store, and I said, if I'm drawn to it, then I'll get it. So that's the first thing that I was drawn to. It's just my intuition. It was just my energy was really like wanting that in my life. And I'm glad I got it because that helped me. It was the push that I needed. I still carry it with me. These are Moldavite earrings. And I love them. I have a little pendant. I have a ring. I took it off though. But I have a ring. And I love it. And they're still with me. They're still a part of me. I love my crystals. And yes. This is the first time I'm actually sharing all this to anyone. I know I have a lot of friends and family following me here on YouTube, but it's okay. I'm okay with it. Like, if you're not okay with it, it's okay. I understand. Not everyone believes in this. But it's in the Bible. Spirituality is in the Bible. Okay. Anyways, forget about that because we're not talking about religion or anything like that. So anyways, where was I at? My crystals, yes. I'm into crystals. I meditate. I love going out in nature. I love talking to the sun. I love talking to the moon. I love talking to spirit. I'm not scared anymore. I used to be scared. Not anymore. The fear that I had of spirit, ghost, gone. Yes, it's completely gone. Like, I'm not scared anymore. Like, I hear voices. I see visions. I have a lot of premonition dreams, a lot of premonition visions. Like, I'll be driving and all of a sudden I'll be boom, I get a vision. And I have to call that person. You know what? I just saw this. Like, you got to be careful. Or whatever. Or I'll see someone, I'm like, you know what? I don't like that person. Their energy is not vibing with mine and something's up with that person. And yeah, right away. I've cut people that I've met, like, I would say, like, I would meet someone, I would talk to them 2-3 times and done. I would just walk away. I don't even tell them that I don't want to talk to them. I just block them on social media, block them on my phone, and that's it. I have nothing to do with them anymore. It's just, I pick up energy really fast. And if you are not vibing, I'm not saying I'm better than you, but if your energy is not vibing with my energy, I'm going to cut you off because you're very toxic for me. Yes, toxic. I did say that. A lot of people have tendencies of having stealing people's energy just by looking at them or giving them that evil eye without even knowing that they're doing that because they have a lot of jealousy, a lot of hate, or they're very ignorant and they don't understand. And if they see you looking good or they see you doing better, they don't like that. So they unintentionally throw this evil eye or drain your energy. And I'm not about that. I block my shit right away. And when I see people like that, snip, snip, out of my life. I don't need that. Like I said, I don't take shit lightly anymore. I really pay attention to who I have in my circle because of what I've been through. Yeah. It's So you have to be very careful who you are around with. And it's crazy because I've had people that I considered family in my life that were friends, but I considered family because they were really close to me. They were really cool. Even though my intuition said, yeah, something's up with this person. I'd be like, no. I would tell myself, no, you can't think that. Stop. Then later on, it comes out to be that my intuition was right. That person was not what I thought. Yeah. So I had to cut that person out of my life. To this point, this is the hardest thing that I even have to talk about because I even had to cut my mom out of my life. It was one of the hardest things I had to do. My mom has gone through so much in her life, but because of that, she blames us, her kids. Hey guys, I'm sorry. It's really late. I'm so tired. I'm like literally falling asleep. I can't record anymore. I'm done. But I promise I'm going to do a part 2 and I'll continue the story where I left out with my mom. And believe me, I have a lot more to say. I'm excited to share my story. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of my life, my journey. If you know somebody's going through the same thing, please share my video. If you have any questions, put it in the comments and I'll answer any questions that you guys have. I promise I will do the best that I can to answer everyone. I love you guys. Thank you so, so much. Part 2 is coming, okay? Just give me some time and I love you guys. God bless. Bye.